Hey everybody, so last night I saw Ma, directed by Tate Taylor, starring Octavia Spencer and Diana Silvers. Ma isn't a bad movie, it's just horribly incompetent. Throughout the movie, I easily took 40 notes on my phone of things that bugged me and made no sense. Starting off, the story fucking blows. There's a character introduced earlier in the story that I completely forgot existed until the end of the movie when it finally made a connection in my brain of where I remember this character from and why Maggie, the lead character, remembered her so well, considering she moves to the school and moves back to the city. I'm like, how the fuck does she know this character? Little did I forget, she met her previously early on in the movie at school. I completely fucking forgot about it. That's a sign of a bad movie when they completely neglect characters, neglect mentioning them, and leave any sort of impression on the viewer of who this character is and they might come into play later. The entire story kicks off with the kids trying to buy alcohol to drive around and drink with, so they park next to and stand in front of a liquor store, seemingly knowing that what they are doing is illegal, but no one threatens to call the cops, and no one from the store comes out to tell them to get the fuck out. And when I say everyone in this movie is a fucking idiot, I literally mean every character in this movie is a fucking idiot. So much creepy and suspect shit happens throughout this movie, and every character just blows it off as if it's nothing. I didn't bother to learn the character's name, but when the white dude who's not Andy has a gun pulled on him by Ma, she forces him to strip and simply says, "Oh hey, it was all just a joke. I found this gun in the house when I moved in. It doesn't even work. It hasn't worked in years." Like, hey, why the fuck are you still there? And why the fuck do you continue to talk to her and go to her house? I understand she's a creepy woman that keeps hacking into your phone and following you and stalking you and stuff like that, but stop talking to her. All this creepy shit continues to happen, and they just let it slide. She manhandles every male that comes to her house, and nobody ever says anything negative to her about it. Nobody ever calls her out on her shit. And the technology in this movie makes no sense on top of that. Ma's motivations include it. It is never explained to us why she is doing these things to the children of her ex-classmates. Like, if it had been established, it would have made sense, but it doesn't. We're expected to connect the dots and understand why she's doing this to the children instead of the adults that abused her back in high school. Are you inviting these kids over to prey on them, to hopefully one time get your revenge on their parents? Why don't you just get your revenge on their parents? Why do you have to do the children? And why don't you just abduct them in the first place? Why do you have to invite them over to your house and make you feel like you're cool? Just abduct them and get back at your parents. It makes no sense. Everything the characters do in this movie makes no sense, and it's mind-boggling how easily it could be to fix this in the script and in the story. On top of it, every character in the movie is supposed to be high schoolers. And they're supposed to be fucking 16-year-old. But none of them look or dress like they would be that old. When they say in the movie that a character's 16 years old, I put my hands on my head and started to laugh because it makes no sense. Every character in this movie, aside from Andy, looks like they're 20 or 22 years old, but they're supposed to be playing 16-year-olds, and it's stupid and idiotic. The script is terrible. It seems like Silvers, our lead hero, doesn't fucking care to be in the movie at all. Every line she delivers feels lazy and uninspired. And when she is supposed to say this line, "Oh my god, you're bleeding," it sounds like total ADR, and it doesn't even sound like her voice. She couldn't be fucked to redub her own line. This movie is that lazy. The actors are that lazy. However, the movie is directed competently, and though I feel it is a simple paycheck movie for her, Octavia Spencer does an okay job. With a better script and a better story, I feel she could have done better overall. I like the fact that she took something a little bit different and away from the norm of what she usually does, and I commend her for that. But in the end, this movie is a nothing movie that angered me script and story-wise. It will be a movie that I quickly forget and will not be anywhere on my top 10 worst of the year, and a movie that a lot of people will also forget at the same time. I'm going to give Ma a 4.8 out of 10.